and good day. You are welcome to another amazing tutorial by Amoka School. My name is Rhoda and I'm the founder and lead tutor at Amoka School, where we teach designers all around the world the art and business of fabric beading and embellishment. Alright, in this tutorial we'll be learning something absolutely amazing, and let me give you a quick backstory to how we decided that this was a tutorial that we're going to record in this video. So I posted 2 designs on our Instagram page. If you're not following us on Instagram, you should just pause this video and go and follow us. You'll know why very soon. So I posted 2 designs on our Instagram page asking our beautiful followers which of them they would like to learn, and about 90% of them chose this particular design. And so here it is. As promised, we have come with this free tutorial just for you. So in this tutorial we'll be learning a lot of amazing things. You'll learn the exact tools that you need to create this design. You will learn how to create the loops, you learn how to attach the loops to your garment, and you learn how to put finishing touches to your garment so that your design is absolutely neat, flawless and beautiful. If that sounds like something you'd want to learn, keep watching this video and don't forget to share it with fellow designers like you, fellow fashion enthusiasts like you, who would love to learn this and who would find this valuable. Without further ado, let's start learning. Some of the tools we'll be using in this project are: 1, beads. I'll be using this type. These are like plastic pearls. They're not original pearls, they're just shaped in the form of pearls and they're plastic. This is the star of the show. These are called crystal beads or Swarovski beads. Swarovski, S-W-A-R-O-V-S-K-I. That's how it's spelled. But generally, they are known as crystal beads. You can see that they shine really well. They shine really nicely. And when you buy them, they are sold like this. Most of the time, you see them already strung in fishing line, and they sell it per line, or you could buy it in bundles like this. Okay, so I have this one, and they come in different shapes. This is like a conical shape. Like, what shape is this? This is not a cone, but this is not round. Yeah, this isn't round. We have this shape. We also have the shape that is round. Let me get that for you quickly. We have this shape, which is the round one. So you can see the difference in the shapes. Let me just put them side by side. So you can see the difference in the shapes, and also they also come in different sizes. They come in many sizes. So you can see the round one on the left, you can see the round one on the left, and you can see the other shape on the right. There's also this one is like the square or rectangular shape. So you can see they come in different shapes and they come in different sizes, but for the purpose of this video I'll be using this shape. So you can take a screenshot of this particular part of the video and take it to your local bead supply store and tell them that you want this particular size or this one, which is the bigger size. There are also other sizes which are not in this video, but when you go to a bead supply store you will see them in different shapes, in different sizes, different colors. Other things that we will need in this video are pliers. These are optional, however. We need pliers. This is a cutter and this is a flat nose plier. You can also get a round nose plier, which is more round than this. But as an alternative to this cutter, you could actually use your large scissors, which will cut what we need to cut, and I'll show you what we'll be using them to cut. We need you can call it beading wire, but it's popularly known as craft wire because it's not exclusive to beadwork only. People use it for millinery work as well. People that make hats, fascinators, etc., they use it as well. So I'm using the craft wire in 0.71 millimeters. That's how wide it is. There are bigger sizes, but the size you get is determined by the size of beads you're using. Whatever size you get, you need to ensure that it will pass through your beads. Okay, you don't want to get a size that is wide or thick and it won't be able to pass through your beads. You also don't want to get a size that is too thin that it won't support your beads. The purpose of this craft wire is to give support and give shape to the beads. Okay, you can see how this one is shaped. I would explain more of this in the video. Don't worry, you would understand it perfectly. The video is super explanatory, and if you follow through with everything that you're advised and everything you're instructed, you will get the same results, and possibly better if you let your creativity guide you. Okay, so the craft wire is what gives it this shape that is standing. You can see that it's standing. Without the craft wire, if you use fishing line, or if you use any other material that isn't as strong as this, it won't have this firm shape. Okay, without further ado, let's get right into the video. The next thing I want to show you is how to shape your beads so that they have this firm structure. You can have different shapes. You can make it more round like this, you can make it more oval, but it's all about how you are able to manipulate it. Okay, and that's what I will show you how to do next. But let's get into one of the juiciest parts of this video, which is how to shape our beads to have this firm structure. By the way, some of the materials that we're showing here may not look exactly the same depending on the country you stay, depending on where you're buying them from. For example, some of the craft wire comes in this it's wrapped around this plastic thing, but sometimes it comes just in a nylon. It's just round. Sometimes you have it like this and then it's inserted in a nylon. It doesn't mean that it is fake, it just means maybe it's produced by a different company. So don't be discouraged if you see craft wire that is not in this exact same packaging, or you see pliers that are not this exact same color. Don't be discouraged, as long as they serve the same purpose. I'm showing us some tips and tricks, so let's stay as attentive as possible. Now, for these loops, for each of the loops that we're creating, I'm going to call these loops. For each of the loops or the hoops that we're creating, we need to know what size of the wire we're going to cut. And to determine that, one easy trick to determine that is for you to shape your measuring tape to the desired length that you want, or the desired wideness or width that you want. If you want your loop to be really large, but at the same time you don't want to make it too large, you don't want it to be too large so that it will not interfere with the customer's face, so that it won't keep hitting the customer's face. Remember, we are attaching all these loops around the bust area. If it is too high, it will hit the customer's face and they won't be able to they won't be comfortable. So you need to make it as comfortable as possible for your client, except if they want it extravagant like that, then go ahead. But whoever is wearing the garment, you need to ensure that the size of the hoop you're making is not too large that it would keep hitting their face or keep getting in their face and they won't see where they're going to. Okay, so this is I'm going to create one that is about this size. So let's see how much. That's 25 inches. So we want something that is going to be round like this. This is not round, this is like more like oval. We want something that's going to be oval like this, 25 inches. We're creating different sizes, by the way, so we're going to create one that is 25 inches, and this is the biggest we're going to do. So we'll cut our wire, we'll measure 25 inches on our wire, and we'll add 1 inch for the twisting of the wire, for binding the wire together so that the beads are safe and secure. So you want to unwind your wire, unwind it as long as possible. Okay, unwind it as long as possible. So you measure your 25 inches and remember to add that 1 inch for closing it up. So we're going to have 26 inches in total. Bend that and cut it. Now remember that I told you that you can also, I'm going to cut it, I want to show you something. You can also cut this with your scissors. So if you don't have the plier, don't let that, you can see that cuts really easy and nice. If you don't have the plier, don't let that discourage you. You can still practice this without the pliers. Don't be discouraged, and I'll show you how. So we have our wire in the length that we want, and then we're going to start feeding in our beads. Now I've intentionally left, usually I like to take out my beads from the wire and put them in a container because it just helps me preserve them longer, but I've decided to leave them in their strings so that feeding them into the wire is easier for me, and I'll show you what I mean by that. First of all, I'm going to bend the other side of the wire so that as I'm feeding the beads, they don't come out through the end. This loop, this bend that I've created would help my beads stay firm on the wire until I'm ready to end it. All right, so this loop is on the other side, and so on the opposite side, without that bend, we're going to start feeding in our beads. So I'm just going to be feeding in my beads without removing the wire. I'm feeding my beads directly from, can you see what I'm doing? Don't worry, you can watch and rewatch this part until you get it right. This is just what I'm doing simply. I didn't remove the wire. You can see the wire is still there, so I'm feeding in my beads directly from the wire without taking the beads out first. So you can see, this will further illustrate what I mean by this hook. This hook that I've created, this bend I've created, won't allow my beads to fall out or slip off until I'm ready to twist the ends when I'm done feeding the beads. So that's why that loop or that bend is important. Getting to the end of the wire. This is all that we have left, and you don't want to attach your beads all the way to the tip. Remember that we left 1 inch for tying up the wire. So when you have about 1 inch or 3/4 of an inch left on the wire, please know that it is time to stop feeding the beads and it is time to tie up the wire. Okay, so we're going to loosen that bend that we created initially. We'll try and equalize it so that they are both equal. What you want to do is crisscross them, that's let them face opposite sides like this. This is us trying to close up the wire so that, you know, the beads are secure and they are firm where they are. Now once you've done that, it's not compulsory that you have this plier. It is great and it is advisable to have it, but if you don't have it, don't let that discourage you. You can use your hands to do it all the way to the end, and the wire just helps me make it firmer. Now when you're turning your wire, please don't let it be too what's the word now, don't let it be too tight, because if it's too tight the wire can cut. And if the wire cuts, you would have to reduce the length of what you've done. Now you can see that we have unequal lengths, so I'm just going to cut them to the same length and press that. This is optional, the pressing is optional. I'm going to press that. Okay, so we have it firm. Now you can see that we're done, but you can see that the shape is irregular. So what you want to do is to bend. You actually want to flatten it, then you go ahead to bend it to get your desired shape. Okay, so we're bending it to get our desired shape. So you can see it has taken more shape now. This is more of an oval shape than what we had at the beginning. Now you can see that the shape matches with the other ones. Okay, so I'm going to create a smaller size of what we have here. So just one more time, I'm going to create another hoop, okay, just to help us understand better. I'm sure that by the time you watch this video over and over again, even if you don't get it right now, you will be an expert, provided you practice. So I'm going to make a smaller one to help us. I'll do a smaller one to help us perfectly understand the process of making the hoops. And I'm going to do it in 8 inches, adding 1 inch for my twist, making it 9 inches. I'm going to create a bend on one side and feed the beads through the other side. Okay. Just one more, and then we can go on to create our hoop to twist it so that it's very, very secure. And very first step to twisting it is creating a crisscross. Once you have your crisscross, keep twisting. You can, this is very optional, but because I'm used to it, I'm going to use it. Keep twisting. Please don't twist it too tight. If you twist it too tight, it can cut. Just let it be firm, and then you can equalize the tip by cutting it and press it so it's flat. And you can see it has like a shapeless, it's not shapeless, that's a shape in itself, but it's not the shape that we desire. So we're going to keep manipulating it until we have that oval shape that we want. And there you go, there you have it. That's the hoop. So you can create this in different sizes. You can create it as large as 30 inches, as large as 35 inches, as small as 5 inches, but it all depends on you and what you're trying to achieve. So now I think you should actually take a pause from watching this video, or you could watch it at a stretch at once, but take a pause right now and go practice like 5 of these till you get your desired shape. It doesn't have to be this oval shape. It could be a round shape, it could be a heart shape like this, it could be a square shape, because the wire, the craft wire that we use inside, can be bent to any shape. Okay, it could be a star shape, but just go and practice 3 to 5 of these, and then come back and learn how you're going to attach them to your garments. All right. Okay, these are some of the other hooks that we've created, and altogether we have about 11 hooks. So we're going to go right ahead to attach all of them. So we'll go right ahead and start placing each of the hoops. We'll pin them down just to have a mental picture of how we want it to be. So I'm going to start with some of the large ones. I'm going to use my pins to hold them down. Okay, that's firm enough. Hold it down here too. It's very malleable, meaning that it bends easily. So all you need to do is reshape, reshape, reshape. Okay, so once you have the desired shape, I'm going to place that, pin it down. Oops, man down, or rather pin down. So pin that down. The reason we're pinning all of this down is so that we don't just guess where and where to place it. You may or may not pin it down, it's optional, but I want to pin it down to have a mental picture of how everything will be before I sew it permanently to the garment. And you can do it in different directions. Everything doesn't have to face one direction. You can do it in different directions. There's another direction. I'm just going to leave it that way. You can see I'm kind of doing them by size, starting with the bigger sizes and moving to the smaller ones. Another method is, if you don't want to swell it round, you can just trim it close to the end. Make sure that it's very firm, so that the wire that will be showing is just going to be a little, not so much. Okay, so you can try to do that. You can see it's taking shape. Yay, it's taking shape. Okay, just gonna add some more. I think it's okay like this, so I'm just going to add these two. I didn't end up using everything. These two are two different ones, but I just swelled the wires together. You can see that wire is very thick. I'm going to make sure that that wire is very firm, so that by the time I cut it off, it won't lose, it won't become loose. Make sure it's firm but not too tight, so that it doesn't cut and trim off the excess. Okay, trim off any excess. So this is also a great way to so I trimmed it and they came off, but that's totally fine. We can attach them individually. Attach them individually, but in that same shape. So I'm going to put that last one down here. Okay, so there we have it. We will go right ahead to sew it on. You can do this on both of the cups, but I have decided to do it on only one cup. That's just how I want it. So our areas of focus will be exactly where all the pins are. That is where we will be sewing to attach this permanently to the garment. And as much as possible, one of the things I like to do when I'm beading is to ensure that my thread work, that my thread work does not show on the reverse side of the fabric. And the secret to doing that is that when you're sewing, pick only the fabric on the outside. If you pass your needle all the way through inside and bring it outward, your thread will definitely show. All right, so I explain more of this in my classes. You can take this off of your dress form, take the garment off your dress form or your mannequin and sew it. I think that that's easy, and that's what I'm going to do right now. So we're going to go back to our working table right now. That's going to be way easier for me. So we're back to our working table, and we'll go ahead to start fixing all of them from where we stopped. I feel like this is going to be way easier for me to do. You can also keep track of the ones you've done by taking out the pins in those areas, so that you know where next to go and you'll be sure of what you're doing. attaching everything. Before I end it, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to cut my thread a few inches from the last stitch we made and tie it. This will help secure the thread so it doesn't get loose, and so that the stitches we've done to secure the wire works won't come off. So once you've done that about 3 times, you can trim off the excess thread. All right, and we're good to go. Yay! And so this is the inside. You can see what I meant when I was talking about the thread not showing on the reverse side. You can see it's absolutely free. So as much as possible, don't let your needle pass through to the reverse side. Just let it work. Let all your needlework be done on the outside of the fabric. So I'm going to go back and place this on the mannequin so that we can view the finished look. I'm very, very excited about this. So this is what we have as our finished look. I feel like this is absolutely gorgeous. Actually, it's not a feeling, it's a fact. And if this was lace fabric with a lot of embellishments underneath, it would look absolutely gorgeous. Another thing you can do is to attach beads one by one in the surrounding areas, just to give it that full feeling of embellishment. But I'm not going to be doing this because I don't even plan to use this corset for anything. I just did this for the purpose of the tutorial. Okay. Whew. That was an amazing and intensive tutorial, don't you agree? I mean, if you've watched this far, if you've gotten this far in the video, that means you have learned every single thing you need to know about creating wire work designs like this. If you agree that you've learned something amazing, why not share this video with your friends, your fellow designer friends, and let them learn something new as well. And I'd just like to answer a question that somebody may be asking in their mind. And the question is there a particular way to arrange the loops so that you can have the same effect, or so that you can have an organized effect? Well, my answer is yes and no. No, because there isn't a particular way that you have to do it all the time. But yes, because you can come up with your own design. You can come up with your own method like I have here. And I'll share my method with you. My method, if you look closely at this, is that I have the larger loops behind and I have the smallest loops in front. So I've arranged each loop according to size, starting from the back to the front, and this gives me a very neat and organized look so that it's not scattered and so that you don't have the loops everywhere. And of course, this is my method. You can try it or you can try something else. Okay, it doesn't have to be, there is no one size fits all approach when it comes to arranging it. You could even have the smaller ones behind, you can have the big ones by the side, you can have it any way you want, but the idea is to make it organized and neat. Okay. Another thing that somebody else may be asking is there a way to totally hide the wires so that they don't show? Yes, you could use beads. You could just attach beads to those areas. And also, if this was a fully embellished fabric, you can see that I used crepe here. Crepe is this is plain black crepe that I used. You may be using lace that is embellished. If you're using embellished lace, it will be easier to hide any wires that show. But ultimately, I think we have done a great job in hiding the wires as much as possible. If you've watched this tutorial so far, I want to say a very big thank you to you. Thank you for watching. Thank you for sticking with me. I know you have learned something new. Don't forget to share this video with your friends. Follow us on Instagram at amokafashion. And also, we have amazing, intensive, and very detailed online and offline courses where you have access to ask me questions about fabric beading, but more importantly, we will actually teach you till you learn various arts, various methods, and various approaches to fabric beading and embellishment. And if you're interested in joining any of our online or offline classes, just send a message to any of the details you have on the screen here or check the website, and we'll respond to you as swiftly as possible. Okay, I can't wait to have you in one of my classes. You will learn a lot. You would actually learn a lot. Imagine if we can give all of this away for free. How much more will we give you in our paid classes? Thank you for watching and have a fantastic day. Bye.